A very warm welcome to IDFC FIRST Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. I'm Ritvika Gupta, and today I'm here in this beautiful city of Coimbatore bringing you highlights from our recently concluded Coimbatore Springboard. Today's episode will spotlight the city's growth opportunities and much more. On the show tonight, we'll first have a special chief guest address by Kranthi Kumar Pati, IAS District Collector, Coimbatore, followed by a keynote address by Anto Alan, Business Head, Business Banking and Agri, IDFC FIRST Bank.
Welcome to Coimbatore, the Manchester of South India, where tradition meets innovation. Surrounded by the stunning Western Ghats, Coimbatore is now developing as a major industrial hub in Tamil Nadu.
I'm Jagdish, manager of this textile shop. It's a very nice place, nice climate, and peaceful city also.
Yeah, my name is Mujib Ibrahim. We are doing textile business and gold also. Been living here, generation. So beautiful city, peaceful city.
The city began its journey with textile and now has thriving automobile and IT industries. It has also established itself as a startup hub in sectors like EVs and semiconductors. Coimbatore's rich heritage and multi-dimensional growth make it a key player in achieving Tamil Nadu's economic goals.
Coimbatore, it's a cotton city, and the best thing about Coimbatore is people. The city has expanded a lot, so you can find a lot of textile outlets wherever you go.
A vibrant business environment, skilled labor, and amazing infrastructure make Coimbatore one of India's fastest growing cities. Today, it is a hub of innovation and progress, playing a key role in shaping India's economy.
Very good evening, all of you. It gives me immense pleasure to be here to address this gathering. It gives us the stage to reflect back on what all the city has done, what all the district has done, and where we are and where we are headed. The district of Coimbatore is entrepreneurial in its DNA, and we have seen we have all seen many industrial cities in India. Like some industrial cities are PSU-led, some industrial cities are MNC-led, but Coimbatore is totally homegrown. It's totally in the genetic makeup of the city to generate businesses, and these businesses are not linked to any sector. They are genuinely entrepreneurial. Every entrepreneur will be looking out for the newer sector to enter into. Highlighted before, what were the traditional industries of Coimbatore? There was textile. It's like the earliest weaving mills were set up in the early part of 1800s. Then came the pump industry, the automotive industry, and many of those industries were even happenstance. But today we are seeing a lot of industries pivoting, a lot of new sunrise sectors that are coming up. To name a few, we are seeing really bright offshoots, new startups in electronic vehicles. We are seeing a booming IT industry. We are seeing a booming GCC industry, global capacity centers. Coimbatore-Salem region is declared as a defense corridor. So we're seeing a lot of industries which are into defense. We have a rich history of small players who supply various parts to defense industries. Like I was very surprised when I got to know that the textiles which are used by our soldiers in Siachen, they are made in Coimbatore. So this was news to me, but there were many such things like here. We are looking into very new industries like semiconductor industry, and the overall trend, if we see, it is from low value adding industries to high value adding industries, because it's a natural progression as the education background of the citizens are improving, as the cost of inputs is going up. Of course, the district is edging towards more value adding industries, the more beneficial employment can be created. If you see the biggest asset of the city, of the district, if you see, it has got very good basic amenities. Like the basic for any industrial growth is law and order. So law and order, Tamil Nadu tops as one of the safest states in the country. Amongst that also, Coimbatore has one of the best statistics. So law and order is one of the basic foundations on which economic activity thrives. Next, we have very favorable climate and water security. Various infrastructure projects were taken to ensure water security to the district. Then we have a very good base of educational institutions and healthcare institutions. These have, incidentally, these have come up with the public participation. The much before the corporate social responsibility got enshrined into the acts and it was mandated by government rules. Many industry houses of Coimbatore have ventured by themselves through philanthropy into setting up educational institutions and healthcare institutions. Now we are reaping rich dividends of these initiatives, where in terms of any livability index where people want to come and work, the top things people evaluate is healthcare and education. And we have got a very solid base of that. That has also contributed into people wanting to come here, work here, and eventually companies wanting to set up here. So these are some of the basic factors that are helping us. In terms of conscious efforts that people have taken, governments have taken, we have also ensured geographically also Coimbatore is blessed to have very good green cover. Next, the city was blessed with a very good drainage system. In terms of, if you see the river system, the river Noyal passes through the city, and there was a natural flood management system through the system of lakes. And over the years, this was gotten into disuse a few decades back. But consciously, with the support of civic society and the government, all these lake systems were revived. And today, if you see Coimbatore, a system of 7 lakes which are interlinked, which act as natural safeguard against any flooding. So this beautiful system is revived, and now these lakes are made into a thriving public places through initiatives like Smart City. Now these lakes serve as both groundwater recharge system, flood management system, and also beautiful public places. So this also ensured the city goes up in terms of its livability and its sustainability. In terms of specific industry-related initiatives, Government of Tamil Nadu is very, very particular in order to reach our overall economic goal of reaching $1 trillion economy by 2030. Significant role will be played by industries. Tamil Nadu is one of the most industrial state in the country, and out of that MSMEs do play a very important part. Coimbatore is one of the MSME capital. If you see on Udayam portal, total number of entities registered from Coimbatore district are almost 223,000 units. Out of that, around 75,000 are into manufacturing and others are in other sectors. So these MSMEs are the job creation in the, engines of the society. So government values them very much, and industries department is one of the most proactive in the country, the Department of Industries in Tamil Nadu. It has various hand-holding mechanisms for various scales of industries. If you see large industries, there is Guidance Bureau. If you see medium industries, there is TN. And if you see startups, there is Startup TN. So these organizations, depending on the scale of the enterprise, every organization can be handheld. Anybody can approach one of these institutions and they take care once you enter into any MOU for any investment. Once that MOU is entered regarding hand-holding of getting clearances to setting up the unit, entire hand-holding is done by these institutions. So this has created a good ecosystem. And further, through the global investment summits and the recently held event, almost 6,600 crores of investment is completed for Coimbatore, which is under various stages of implementation in the district. And most important part is we have very, very vibrant civic society, very, very vibrant industry associations. They keep on giving us feedback. We actively consider those feedback. We pass on this feedback to the government to be considered into policy making. Further, all the representations even by industry associations, they are being taken very, very seriously. Even now, all the representations that associations have given, we are all being asked our feedback on those representations, and government is very, very responsive to any demand that is made by the associations for industrial development of the region. Coimbatore is also a very, very young city and young district, because we have to all, if you add up all the educational institutions of Coimbatore, it's more than 400 actually. Arts and science colleges, engineering colleges, medical, pharmacy, there's a growing medical care industry in Coimbatore. So these institutions are budding hubs of innovation. A lot of these institutions are having incubation labs of their own. Recently, a lot of startup festivals we held in Coimbatore. They are all coming up with really amazing ideas. We are sure this young spirit, this entrepreneurial spirit and this innovation spirit will give rise to many startups, and homegrown unicorns from Coimbatore will definitely come, and the existing industry will also definitely thrive, and we all together will definitely make Coimbatore a better place, thriving place. which will not only create employment opportunities for the locals, but also anybody who comes here. You don't see any labor problems here because every laborer who comes here aspires to be entrepreneur tomorrow. And most of the entrepreneurs here will have stories when they used to work as laborers. So that is the social mobility, that is the economic mobility that is available in the region of Western Tamil Nadu and Coimbatore. So once again, I thank to Economic Times for offering me this platform to share my thoughts, and I wish this gathering all the best. Thank you.
It's time for a quick break here. We'll be back shortly. Stay tuned. Welcome back. You're watching IDFC FIRST Bank presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. Tonight, we are bringing you highlights from our recently concluded Coimbatore Springboard.
Good evening, Coimbatore, and it's a real pleasure to invite this August gathering on behalf of IDFC Bank. My name is Anto. I head the business lending vertical for SME business. Today we thought we'll take you through some of those things that we do as IDFC FIRST Bank in the SME space. We'll start with, first thing is, when we talk about Coimbatore and we talk about TN, in the whole space, in the whole SME business, in the whole Make in India initiative which is there, where does Tamil Nadu fit in? Tamil Nadu, of course, is the second largest state in terms of GDP, with 33% of the GDP getting contributed through manufacturing. As a state, we had attracted about $2.44 billion of FDI in the last year, which is about 12% increase over what it was in the previous year. The last 3 years alone, the state has attracted close to 10 crores of investments. There are about 54 SEZs which spread across the state, which contribute a majority part of the exports. The state is diversified, and today it's also becoming a powerhouse for GCCs. In fact, Coimbatore is one of the leading tier 2 cities in GCCs. We have 25 of them in Coimbatore alone. So that's the kind of scale, that's the kind of criticality and importance which a state plays in. And in that state, Coimbatore, of course, occupies a very, very key position. It is a city which is diversified into multiple things. It's not known for one single aspect of it. Of course, we saw the AV which talks about the Manchester of South India, so leading textile names, which brands which have got built out here. It's also quite a well-established place for auto component manufacturing. There are again quite a few good businesses which has got industries which have got built around this. It's also, in terms of pumps, 40% of the total pumps manufacturing happens out of here. 80% of the country's wet grinder manufacturing happens out of here. We have close to about 75,000 wet grinders getting manufactured annually. It's also becoming one important critical hub for software. So it's spread across software, manufacturing, tech know-how, the entire gamut of industry space there. It is also seen in the number of startups which has come up in this space. From about 200 odd startups 3-4 years back, we have seen currently about 1,350 startups registered in DPIT in Coimbatore. That's like a kind of 4-5x scale which we have seen in the last couple of years. So that's the kind of growth, that's the kind of importance the city has been showing in. It contributes to about 7% of the state's GDP and one of the largest contributors there. A very vibrant ecosystem, both from an infrastructure perspective as well as from an education technical know-how perspective. A very vibrant ecosystem contributing a gamut of industries, and that's how critical Coimbatore is into this whole Make in India objective. Just to introduce ourselves as to what we are and what we bring into the space, just a little step back to say who we are. IDFC Bank started its operation in 2016. And then in 2018, we had merged with an NBFC called Capital First, and today we are called IDFC FIRST Bank. At that point in time of merger, we were largely a wholesale bank. We were about 80-20 wholesale retail. And in the last 6 years, we have done the transformation into a mass retail bank. We have a 2 lakh crore asset book. In the 2 lakh crore balance sheet, about 80% of the balance sheet is now retail, 20% is wholesale. What it has then led to is the improvement in the NIMs, the net interest margin, which is the profitability which banks go by. We were at about 2% kind of NIMs in 2016-17, and today we operate at about a 6.5% kind of NIMs. CASA ratio, which is another measure which goes on to check on the stability. It's a measure to check on the stability in terms of fund flow for banks. We today have a 40% plus CASA ratio and growing steadily. And in the last 6 years, we have been clocking about 150,000 in terms of retail liabilities which we have mobilized. That's the kind of growth that the bank has shown, thanks to a lot of customers who have supported us in this growth. One of the key things that we talk about, in fact, that is something that Mr. Vaidyanathan keeps insisting and that prevails through entire bank, is about the way we design products. And since we are a new player, we also kind of disrupt what are the existing norms which have been set. There's a lot of norms which are used to in the country. Therefore, we kind of disrupt a lot of things. I'll give you a few examples. One of it is, let's say on the credit card space, we have for long assumed that the credit card interest rates will be 36% and above. Interest, cash which gets withdrawn using a credit card gets charged at that interest rate. And these are norms which have been established and have been existing in always. We were the first ones to come back and say, look, if you have a good credit history, your APR scores, which is your annual performance rates, which is your credit card interest rates on rollover, should be linked to your CIBIL. And we start as low as 10%, which means that if you have a good credit score, then your rollover rates are as good as a personal loan. Secondly, if you withdraw cash during the period of time that the spends that you have, within that billing cycle, cash withdrawals are interest-free, which means that you have that 45-day time period. Some of the other examples will be like, say, for example, in a current account. Any balances, you have a variant called Bravo, which means that your current account will start earning interest about 2 lakhs, whatever is there gets into an FD, and that FD starts earning you interest in the current account. So any excess balances is lying automatically then gets created into FDs, and that FD starts getting you interest. So in the design build of every product that we have kind of made sure that, look, there are good customer-friendly required practices for that particular segment, which will be your benefit. And that's the philosophy which gets into every product that we build. And that's one of the reasons why we've been able to grow the way that we have been growing. Okay, on MSME business, there are two, and obviously we have startups, we have MSMEs, we have entrepreneurs. What are the different things that we do in this space? We have categorized the space into an early stage entrepreneur and a mature and a late stage entrepreneur. At the early stage, we offer the full gamut of transaction banking services, right from the Bravo account that we talked about, to CMS facilities, to online trade FX solutions where you book deals and do your trade online. And we have something called a step-up credit card, where we start with 100% FD on a card, and as the transactions, as the history keeps moving, we kind of keep reducing your FD requirement and keep increasing the limit. So that's the kind of things that we start with. One of the things which has got us very good feedback from the startup community is what we call as a Founder Connect program. What we've done is some of the more established startups, or most, let's say, quote unquote, some of the most successful startups, we call that founders and do mentoring sessions with a lot of startups. So we've been able to successfully do what is called a startup mentoring program. We have a Founder Connect, where we connect a lot of startups in a particular city with the founder and do a mentoring session. And these are mentoring sessions over different aspects. Just not about fundraising. Fundraising is one aspect of it. There are different challenges different startups face. So this is a mentoring session. We do it over a period of time, and a lot of startups have given us this feedback on how good it has been for them to connect, understand, and therefore gain valuable lessons in terms of scaling their own startups. On the next stage, where there's a product market fit which has been established, the traditional view has been that you get your 3 years financials, you get your profitability in place, and then you start raising this thing. In the SME startup space, what we also realized that startups are fast growing, but also in the initial stages, there's a cash burn which happens. Therefore, for startups which have done a product market fit, which means that they've raised a Series A kind of fund, we also have something called a pre-profit startup funding, where we look at a different set of measures to analyze the successful of the viability of the startup, and accordingly we fund those kind of startups. So that's one thing which we do. And of course, the whole range of mature stage startup requirements which we have there. Many startups have an idea, and they require testing it out. I mean, meaning There is a lot of fintechs whom we partner with, where we do sandbox experiments, where we expose APIs, where we work with them for their APIs to sync with, and then see on a real life situation, how does it play out? And this is again something a lot of startups find value in it, because there is an idea, they have developed something, they want to execute it, and then when rubber hits the road, then there is a lot of pivoting that needs to happen there. So they find this API. So there are a lot of fintechs that we partner with, where we have API integrations, where we have sandbox experiments happening, which helps us in scaling up those startups as well. Like I said, this is a full range of solutions that we offer, starting from the current account in Bravo, where we offer sweep-in facility to FD for a value of about 2 lakhs, to a doorstep banking, to a complete range of CMS solutions, including a tally integration where bulk uploads can happen, where your account can get directly integrated with your accounting software gets integrated with your banking account, to online TFX solutions, when you not only book your FX rates online, but you also do your documentation like your LC, BG issuances online, to a working capital solution, which includes your fund, non-fund based solution, which is your CC, overdraft, term loan financing. We also have an equipment loan financing, which, for example, a manufacturer wants to, you're given a collateral, you've gotten your CC facility done, but you want to buy a machinery, then we do that machinery financing against that machinery. So we do machinery equipment, a range of machinery that we finance there. So this is a full range of banking solutions we offer for both SMEs and startups. There is, before I close this, one critical thing that I thought I'll share before I come to an end of it. While we have the full gamut of banking solutions that we have, this is one thing that we had started because we are increasingly seeing SMEs with global aspirations. SMEs who are setting up their overseas subsidiaries, and also both setting up their overseas subsidiaries and also bringing partners FDI money inside, meaning there's a lot of funds, capital companies which is outside the country which wants to invest here. So JV is getting formed, and also overseas subsidiary units which is getting formed in different countries to be closer to those geographies. So we have something called a structured FX desk, which only deals with capital account transactions, which means that any capital account transactions of which you want to take money abroad or you want to bring money in, then we have a dedicated specialist structured desk which helps you in structuring the whole transaction through in terms of navigating through all guidelines. This is something a lot of SMEs with global aspirations have really found it useful, and we hope some of you would also find it useful there. So that's in short, in essence, who we are, what we do. Happy to connect with all of you. And once again, in behalf of IDFC FIRST Bank, a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
With that, it's a wrap on this edition of IDFC FIRST Bank Presents Leaders of Tomorrow Season 12. We hope you enjoyed watching the episode. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.